G'day, Australia, indeed. For the very first time, jury duty is going down under for Big Brother AU 14. We're without our queen. She's on tour. She can't be bothered with us or Big Brother anymore. So we are carrying the torch and we're just traveling all around the world. So let's get into it. This is jury duty. All right. I am Kyle Petty, and I am joined by my very good friend, John Dunphy, and you can find us on the socials at BB Jury Duty. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So this is your first Australian season, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Do we like?
I really like it. I really like it. And I was texting you last night. I said, I thought I'd miss the HOH like we have in Big Brother US. I thought I'd miss like the veto competitions and all that, but I really don't. They're keeping it. Yeah, like it's just I love the competitions. I love the drama. I think I really love how they do this show. It's really fun.
Yeah, and I'm excited too because my first time with Big Brother Australia was season 12 that I had watched with Tommy after the very quick removal of Australian Survivor at the beginning of our winter, right? Yes, we were very miffed about that. Still miffed.
Oh, outraged. Outraged.
Yes. Furious. So we hastily started Big Brother Australia 12 before they took that away from us too. And this has a little bit of a different twist going on even than season 12. That happened in 2020, right when COVID had hit. Which has an interesting moment during that season too. You probably read headlines when it was going on. But Australia hadn't really gotten hit with COVID like that bad at that time. And then they had some case or something like that was on the production team or something. So they halted the game in the middle of it and they were still in the house. It was a very interesting thing to watch. But anyway, yeah, so that was Big Brother 2020. But it's obviously now different because now we have a second eviction cycle in this one. Right. Which, all right. So, Big Brother Australia played, in its, although this is the revival way. This is now we come to learn this is not the way it's always been done. What did we know as Americans with Paramount Plus? We only get what we give them. Although, except now that we have this VPN thing, I'm telling you, hasn't this revolutionized the way that you see just viewing anything. I can't wait to see all the many other things that we'll be able to take part in. Because even just scrolling through 7plus's website, I'm like, there's a couple of other shows that I might check out. I want to see Australia's Got Talent. I want to know what's going on over there. They judge us all the time, these people. They're always watching our American shows, our competition shows, telling us what we're good at, what we're not. I would love to chime in, But anyway, so the Eviction Cycle A, right? What is that now? They're playing a regular nomination competition, and then they're nominating 3 nominees, and those 3 nominees do actually get to vote, although they do not get a veto or a second chance anything. You're just on the block. Sorry about it. But now Eviction Cycle B. Now this is the one that's really fun to me. This is really, really fun because this is this is such a beautiful fusion of all the Big Brothers we know. So you're getting now this immunity challenge, which obviously harkens to Survivor, our other show that we love so much now. And and now the House is nominating 3 nominees, which how do you feel about that just by itself?
About the House nominating people?
Yes, and they only get to vote for one person. Eventually, isn't this going to feel a little silly? I'd love to see how this continues to play out. So hot.
Yeah, I liked it. I really liked it, but I haven't really thought that far ahead about it. So even hearing you just say isn't this going to get a little silly at some point? I guess as the numbers are dwindling,
right.
But no, I mean at least at this stage, I really liked seeing it. I thought it was super exciting.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
But I haven't really thought about what it'll look like as we continue to lose people. Right. Even though at this point we actually have more people in the cast now than we did when we started. So
because people just keep coming in, they just keep coming in.
Yeah.
But I think this is it. I think this is it.
I think so.
Just based on what we saw on the socials, this Tully was the only other person that like we had not met.
Okay.
At least, you know, from the Instagram. And now we know she's coming to us this week. So right. That should round out the cast. I hope so. I don't really like when we do like circle style additions to the cast. All right. Like whoever it is, it just is. They did do this in 12. They did that. We had a late batch of, comers there, but I prefer not. Do you have any first thoughts about this cast before like we go too far? Before we get into like, game stats and stuff, you got anything to say about these people? Who are we liking?
So I like the whole cast, but I have to tell you, and they might have just done a great job of going back and picking like the very favorites of the fans in previous seasons. But I love all of the vets so much.
So do I, honestly.
Like
so do I.
Of them. I think that Tim and Dave are awesome. I think they're probably my two favorites, honestly. Tim is just so funny. And then Dave, like even that whole thing with him when Sam and Drew were like having that little massage in the kitchen, and Dave's like,
and he's like, "Oh,
you guys, like you're a great couple. You should be a couple. You
guys should be a couple. You guys should just be a couple. Oh, I just love love. Oh, I just love love. And it's like, I don't know about this. Do you really love love, or you're also just like throwing these people under the bus a little bit, and kind of giving them a problem? Because like you're also, even if you do love love, you're also definitely putting a target on these people, whether you intentionally mean to or not. And I think that maybe it's a little bit of both. I think that maybe he understands the value in doing this, but also enjoys love. I'd like to believe that's the case. We kind of walked into an interesting situation with this cast, huh? Because you got Sam, our intimacy coach, running into old flame Josh. Which now this man, listen, I enjoy the whole wild card thing going on and like whatever he had with that, but like the way that he was going on about Sam, like kind of like following her around and stuff like that, I was like, I hope that like production is watching this man. Like, I hope that this is actually okay. And I suppose it turned out to be a non-issue, but
I'm with you though. It was weird. Like, and I felt bad for Sam. I was like, we've seen on our version of the show, and obviously it happens on other versions of the shows. Like, but like sometimes you go into the house and you know somebody there. But I just felt so bad for Sam because this wasn't just like an acquaintance from her past or something. This was somebody who seemed kind of obsessed with her. I was I don't know about this. And then of course it almost landed her in some trouble at one point. So
well, it did. I mean, it got her on the block.
And she had an equal number of votes, I think, when she was up there. I don't want to jump too far ahead. I don't know what how you want to.
I don't know if there's really any jumping ahead. It's episodes 1 through 4. If you tuned in, you already know that that's what we're talking about. I mean, that's your own fault.
Right.
This is not the news.
Right.
Yeah, this is not.
It came down to a 6-6 vote though between them, right? And then tie had to be broken. Is that how that went?
I can't say that I remember now. Because I just really didn't think Sam was going anywhere. So it wasn't really, I think I was on my phone a little bit as we were watching this part. Yeah, because I really didn't think that was a concern.
Yeah, I know it was close. She was definitely in danger.
I will say to her though, listen, not that she should really be so concerned about what he thinks. She's not interested in him, right? And she's not interested in him, and he's not there anymore. But I thought it to be a little tasteless to immediately go right to Drew as soon as he left the house. Like, I don't know. Like, you couldn't even like just cool it. Because you've only been in there like for a week, right? And like, granted, I guess you don't know how long Drew will be there. So like, so what do you know? What do you know? You don't want to miss up an opportunity, right? Love is love, as Dave says. However, I don't know. I feel like the man, like, he just opened up his heart to you. He just got humiliated on TV. Really took one for her also, because I remember there being like a conversation between the two of them, and he was just like, "Oh, it's just an uncomfortable thing." Like he kind of like tried to make it so that she didn't have to explain why things were awkward. Like he kind of said something along the lines of like, "Oh, I don't know, like she told me it wasn't going to happen," so that she didn't have to explain it. And like, I don't know, I thought he was still trying to be a little bit of a gentleman, and like, I don't know, I would have felt not so great, but that also doesn't mean that she shouldn't. I just felt cringy.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed pretty immediate, because like it was, they were all sitting down to eat, and then we're told to go into the backyard. The whole reveal happened, and then it was literally while they were just sitting at the dinner table, like they had all come back in. This was like probably like 30 minutes after Drew got there.
Yeah, it felt a little uncomfortable. It felt a little uncomfortable, but there they are, Sam and Drew, and Drew gave her a wonderful massage. Yes,
sensual massage in the kitchen.
Yes, much to the delight of Dave. Now, how do we feel about Lulu? Do you have any thoughts about Lulu?
Oh man, I don't know. I felt, I've gone back and forth on Lulu.
So have I.
Yeah, and I felt bad for her in the beginning. She kept saying she was trying to talk to people and nobody would make eye contact with her and stuff. And like,
right. And the way that editing did that, though, they immediately focused on Mel when she had made that comment. She's like, "Oh, nobody's making eye contact with me." It's like, well, Mel's on the block against you. She ain't trying to make friends with you. She's trying to get rid of you. Okay, she don't know you. No. She just met you. She's sitting on the block against you. No, she's not trying to be your friend. I was disappointed in Lulu in episode 4. Yes, I was. Okay. Yes, I was.
Oh, yes, yes.
Because I was rooting for her a lot because she was getting pounded on in the beginning. And then the OG saved her by canceling that eviction, which I thought was like really great. Like good for her. Good for her, because she was definitely getting she was getting shafted there, our Lulu. But then like the fact that you did not immediately band next to the OGs after they really did that for you. It does appear, because again, they don't show us how people voted, and I do have a problem with that.
I know.
I hate that. Like, at least show us at the end, like Survivor does, because I would love to talk about it. I'd love to know what's going on. But anyway, it looks like that maybe she did end up getting on board. I guess, but we won't really know that like for sure unless it comes to light this week. But yeah,
I have a feeling and it's funny because they had to have that moment with her, Tim and I think Reggie, being like, "Listen, you have to do this, or we're gonna come after you." Like, and like part of me like felt bad. Like it feels like it's like a threat, but it's true. Like they saved you. You would have been gone. You would have been out of there.
No, she needed a threat at that stage. In my opinion, she needed a threat. How dare you? It should have been without question that you should have been supporting that. Sorry. Since you mentioned Reggie, what do we think of Reggie? I like her a lot.
Yeah, I really like Reggie.
I like her a lot.
She's tough too. Like,
I'm not gonna let her take my crown. I'm gonna take my crown.
Right?
Like she's tough. She's tough. The eyesight thing does give me some concern. Because it looks like she's just, every time she's walking around, like somebody's kind of helping her, like just to get around the house.
I noticed that too.
I just wonder how that will affect her in competitions.
Right.
Now, the nature of these competitions in Big Brother Australia, as you can see, are very different from what we're used to in our American and Canadian counterparts. What do you think? What do you think of some of these competitions? They're like Survivor style.
Right. Yeah, like they're like Survivor style. I like them. They have all been pretty physical so far, and I do like some other types of comps, but I am liking these. I do like that they have a whole separate like arena for these comps. This house is wild. This house is absolutely wild. But the competitions are interesting. I am looking for some sort of a change up though, because I'm tired of Joel dominating. Like he could have even won. He would have been, I think, 3 for 3 if he didn't have to. he made that deal with Lara in the third, comp. And I think he would have just kept holding on if he had to. And you know what? It almost got him in trouble that he didn't hold on.
it almost
flip of a pillow.
Oh my gosh! All right? Here's Joel, so people can see who we're talking about. Yeah, he's getting to be a lot. He definitely he could be a problem if somebody doesn't get him out. But this Lara pillow thing, this was shady as hell.
Oh, it was so shady.
This was shady as hell.
At all, actually.
I don't believe her at all either. Okay, like I feel like this is worse than Gummygate from Canada. Okay, because at least the gummy bear thing truly was fair. It was stupid, but nobody could say that anyone else had a leg up over the other one. The fact that she did not declare what side of the pillow. So for those of you who maybe missed this moment, we had 3 nominees. It was like 3 people were supposed to be going on the block, but 2 people had 2 people were tied. So it was down to Lara to decide who the third nominee was going to be. And she left this down to the flip of a pillow. Right. So she just flipped the pillow in the air because she was so concerned about breaking her word. She just could not do it. Absolutely not. Miss Lara does not break her word. Well, she flips the pillow and people are shouting out loud, what side is what? What side is what? The pillow falls and there's that big long pause. And then Lara goes, the pillow said Mel. That did it now.
That little extra, the pillow said.
Exactly.
The pillow said Mel.
Exactly. The pillow said Mel. Did it now? Like, did it? And Mel's response, of course it did.
Oh man.
So straight to the block, Mel in her Princess Jasmine outfit, which I have to say was incredibly unflattering. All right, this outfit may have been better if it was tighter. Listen, I'm not a chauvinist, like at all. But like, this is just too saggy. All right, it was just hanging all over the place. If you want to look like Princess Jasmine, we're going to need you to tighten these things. She never said she wanted to look like Jasmine. She never said. She never said that. Him.
Oh, there's a blonde in a Princess Jasmine outfit.
I know she didn't say that at all. I really liked him, by the way.
I loved him.
He could be my favorite person in the house, either him or Reggie. I really like them a lot. I really like them.
Like, and can I tell you, like, being introduced to some of these people now, and even like some people from like the season of BB Can that we just watched, like. I would love some kind of like international Big Brother where we get like Tim, in a house with like, some all-star legend from BBUS and somebody from BB Canada. Like to see all these people in the same house would be super interesting to me. Because,
listen, we have to start putting stuff like that out there. Like the BB fandom has to kind of like join together and get that out there because Survivor just did that. Yeah. Australian Survivor just did that with their Blood versus Water season, that one that was just on. Like they mixed American Survivor greats. They mixed a lot of people.
I
think Queen Sandra from America. Tim. She played Australian Survivor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
people would love Tim on BBUS.
Oh, they absolutely would. I think they would love Tim on any iteration of Big Brother. Honestly, he's just really fun. He's fun. All right, I guess we should actually get into things that happened here. So, so we already talked about how Josh left. Like, that's fine. That's whatever. And I guess this last one. So, I mean, like, we'll just speed on through here because, like, we don't have any. It's no format here. It's too many episodes. Yeah. But this second chance challenge, really feels like a veto to me, which I like. That was something that I always missed in Big Brother Australia. Like I was watching season 12. It's like, okay, so once they get on the block, there's just literally nothing they can do. They're just stuck. I was comforted by the fact that they do get a vote and that there's a third person up there. But I don't know. Not having a veto, it does take something away from me. I don't have to have an HOH as much as I do. I do like a veto though. It adds to the scramble for me.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I did mention that I thought I would miss it, and I think it would be cool to have have a veto competition of some kind. But so I definitely see your side of it. But still loving it. Still really
no, I love it. I love it. But the second chance challenge kind of gives me that in a way. It gives me that in a way, which is closer than Australia ever got for me in terms of giving me a veto. But what I will miss is that I do also enjoy sometimes the conversation around, who should I pick? If it's house guest choice, who should I pick? Who's going to play for me? Oh, you did win veto. I like to scramble around. Who are you going to use it on? Will you use it? I do enjoy like all of that kind of stuff too. So, but all right, at least we got a second chance here. And Layla took it. Layla, who is one of the OGs, but I don't think we've seen like a lot of her, have we? I feel like I'm not super familiar with her. She didn't really say a lot because she was the one that was in the sewer. Well, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Gosh, we have not mentioned the sewer at all.
The sewer rats.
Yeah, she was part of the sewer. That's why I feel like I don't know her as well. So the sewer, that was Layla, Drew, and Trevor, right?
Correct.
They were in the sewer.
I loved watching them mess with the plumbing.
Yeah, I just wish they knew they were doing that to the plumbing. Like they're just spinning things just for the sake of spinning things. Like I wish they had a camera so they could actually watch how they were affecting people. I would have liked that. But that was a fun twist. The production value of this, my gosh. This is a different house than even I saw in 12. So I was reading on the Wikipedia that house was demolished in 2021. Now this has a lot of the same decor. You can tell it was designed by the same team. So it looks like what I would expect it to look like, but yeah, definitely different.
Yeah. So I am curious. I'm not surprised that a lot, that Vets got a lot of votes in the House nominations, but why do you think Layla got so many votes?
Why Layla specifically?
Yeah, why Layla? Why not a different vet? Like why? Like Layla, just shows up, walks in the door. Like I guess I see, people being threatened by Drew because he comes in and he's making waves right away, and Tim's so pumped for him to be there. But I feel like Layla, like you were saying, like we kind of almost
don't really know her. Honestly, I think it's just that old school thing that people love to put women up first. They just love to put women up first. They put Estelle up immediately.
Right. I didn't get that either.
She started crying and all that carrying on. It's like, okay, well, we did that to her first. So, all right, now we'll go Layla. I just don't think that anybody wants to disturb Reggie because, she was the first winner. Leave her alone and just be mean. And Australia won't like it. And I think that's playing into some of their decisions as well. Knowing that Australia and those with VPNs will be voting for the winner.
But yeah, they won't touch, even though it's clear that everybody knows that Tim is the man. He's the leader of the vet side, but they don't want to touch Tim. They don't want to touch Dave.
No, they're too scared. Just like no one's going to want to touch Joel either. Yeah, when they should, but they're not going to want to.
Honestly, I don't care if I came in as a vet, if I came in as a newbie. The second that Joel dropped and let Lara win, I would have been like, all right, let's get Joel out of here. He's literally unbeatable. Yeah. Unbeatable.
That first challenge, when they had to shimmy down the pole and knock those discs off, and then once the discs were off, then now balance it to get that little thing. I cannot. And then not only that, but that stick wasn't one stick. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It was two sticks that they had to stack on top with the other thing balancing on. Come on now. That is insane. And the fact that he seemed to do it with absolutely no issue. It was effortless.
There was one other person that might have had two of those discs in. You saw Josh flipping out. He couldn't. He was the first one to get all of his discs down, and then didn't even get one in.
No, that was kind of wild.
Yeah.
He's got to go. He has to. But, I was about to just compare him to somebody in Australian Survivor, but now I realize you didn't see that, so I cannot.
I might have.
Do you know Emmett? I don't think you watched that season. I think you went back And see, I was going forward because originally when Australian Survivor had first come out on Paramount Plus, they only had seasons 4, 5, and 6 originally.
Right.
So I watched 4. I skipped 5 because I heard it was All Stars, and then I watched 6. And Emmett was in 6. I don't think you went that far. I don't think it was a real 6 either.
Okay.
What did you think of this venting machine? I absolutely hated it. Everyone just screaming. You know, I can't stand the screaming or the yelling. I can't stand it. I cannot.
There were some of them that I didn't like, but Dave I thought was very funny with his coffee beans, and then I really loved Tim. Honestly, they were the only two because Tim is screaming and he's like, lettuce. And they're like it's spinach. If you ate your greens, you would know that. And then he starts screaming about how like Drew and Sam are already getting close to each other. More stuff comes out and he's just like, snow peas. They were just giving like the most random things. That part I loved, but some of the others I was kind of like, all right, shut up.
Yeah, the screaming was just too much. I don't like when people get at that pitch. It's just too much for me. I don't enjoy it. I watched most of it on it wasn't on mute, but I think I just had the iPad volume up like just one notch just to make sure I wasn't missing things. What do you think of Johnson?
I go back and forth on him.
I know. I want to like him so bad, but I find him to be a little irritating. But I don't know yet. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Who else haven't we mentioned?
Let's see.
JC.
Alicia.
Oh,
we both said two completely different people.
And you know why? I would like to be in charge of how we go, only because I have these names not in alphabetical order, so I'm just going in whatever order they are.
So
when you say Alicia, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find her fast.
That's fine. We'll go with your order. JC.
Okay. Yeah. So JC. I have no thoughts. The rapping was not good.
That was not good.
I will echo that. It was not good.
Yeah. I just feel like I don't really know what he's doing. Like, what's his strategy? Like,
I don't think he has a strategy. He's just in that J Squad that seems to be founded on essentially nothing. J Squad just because our names start with J. Yeah, not a good foundation for an alliance that's supposed to take us far. So you said Alicia. Here she is. She was actually next on the list here. Whatever. Now she seems to be canoodling with someone.
Joel.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Got a thing going on.
I guess that could be interesting.
I enjoyed at the dinner table when she was looking at Drew and Drew like just pointing at her, being like, "You seem to be upset." Like after all, like more vets came into the house. Like she's just like blank stare.
I would be upset.
Yeah.
Now we touched on Lara. I don't really have much more other than that pillow flip that I equate as a bigger offense than Gummygate. We should put a poll on the socials about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Pillow flip versus Gummygate. What was more egregious?
Yeah.
People are like, egregious. Shut up, you fools.
I will say one more thing about Lara. I do think it's cool because she's like, I think she's 52. They said she became a bodybuilder at like 45, and now she's right, and she's performed. I know she made a deal with Joel, and that's probably what ended up winning the thing for her. She might have won the comp anyway.
She could have,
yeah, but she's actually performed. She's come in like the top 3, top 2 in a couple of these competitions now. She's actually really holding her own.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but sounds like you're excited about Lara.
I wouldn't say necessarily that I'm excited about Lara because I'm not really like I'm not like rooting for her or her side of the house.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're excited.
No, I wouldn't say excited, but I do think it's impressive. I think she's performed pretty well in these comps.
All right,
better than a lot of people, half her age. So,
all right, 3 cheers for Lara, except for the pillow flip. Taris, is next on my list. No notes other than really hated his venting machine.
Yeah, that wasn't good. That was
it was very forced. Very forced. Yeah, like I was asked to participate in this thing, so here I am. Yeah. I had no other thoughts otherwise. I don't think I've seen enough of him. We'll see. We'll see about him.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll check in again mid-season. Got Gabby next. Here's Gabby. I like her. It seems like she's actually making decisions for herself. She's weighing the pros and cons of each thing, and I like Gabby. And she's wearing purple.
And I like Gabby too. I will say the first couple episodes, every time I saw her, I'd be like, oh, I forgot about Gabby, because I don't think she was really like doing that much or speaking up that much in the very beginning. But in this last episode with the vote, we saw that she had a very important role to play, and I thought that she, I really liked her in this fourth episode, especially just the way she was carrying herself and sort of like letting people know like this is where I'm at and this is how I'm going to make my decision. And
now, I will say she excites me because she's thinking for herself right from the beginning. This whole J Squad, this all based off nothing. I do believe that sometimes you have to put alliance needs before your own, but I don't believe that you're there in the beginning, especially when new people are still being added. There's so much that's going on, like it's not time yet, and she seems to acknowledge that. So I am excited about Gabby. I'm not saying she's like, pick to win or anything like that. I don't know these people. I watch no bio videos, but
Right.
I'm encouraged. Telly is next. We don't know her. I guess we'll get into her next week. Miss Telly apparently had a thing with Drew on their prior season. And she apparently said that she was single when she was not, much of the chagrin of the Australian public. So her return will be much ballyhooed.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. It looks like Sam
much
is
ballyhooed.
And Sam is not excited. So this will be interesting. It'll be really interesting. We touched on Dave. I don't really have anything more about Dave. We said something about Reggie. Estelle, just an OG. I was sorry to see that she was so upset about being put on the block so early. Also happy to see that she survived. So, all right.
Yeah.
I don't have any other thoughts. She seems nice. She seems fine. And then Trevor is really the last person here. Apparently he snores a lot.
He does.
And here's another sewer friend. That's it. People seem to really like him. They were very, very excited when he walked into the house. Like, oh my God, Trevor is here. So, I guess we'll excited to see more.
Yeah. He seems fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's that.
Yeah, right. I feel like there was a couple other things that I wanted to talk to you about. Sonia, host.
Sonia. Yeah, this is your first go round with Miss Sonia. What do you think of her?
Yeah, I like her a lot. I like her a lot. I like the way that they do like before votes go down, like the almost little tribal style type thing that they do, right?
Yeah,
I think she does a great job with that.
She does a lot of questions. She does a lot of deep dives. Yeah, she actually knows what's going on in the house, which is a very big shift from JCM. Yeah. I gotta say, after diving into all these, international versions, we're really gonna need Julie to step her game up.
Oh, absolutely.
We're really gonna need her have her ear to the street. Like, I need you involved. Arissa is still posting about the finale and still posting about house guests and stuff like that. And like, it's really, really nice. Sonia, I don't know. She just seems to be a little bit more in it. I feel like when she asks the house guest questions, she's asking because it's her job, because she's the host. So she's also asking because like she's genuinely into it. And there's just an excitement that comes from her and Arissa that unfortunately I can't say that I always feel from Julie.
Right.
She seems more in it with a celebrity. because I feel like it's like people she knows. But like otherwise,
right.
Yeah, she's definitely different. So I'm anxious to see if she amps it up this year.
Right.
She won't.
I hope so.
She won't. She won't. I mean, she brings her own special charm, to BBUS, but I do wish she had a little bit more skin in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remembered something else because I don't think we touched on this, right? The mainframe room.
The mainframe room. Yeah, it was a fun twist.
I thought it was fun. I wanted to ask you though, because I think the only reason that everybody found out about Josh and Sam knowing each other was because these vets were in the mainframe room and were able to see their conversation.
Right. That's
right. And right. And then they were able to, in that icebreaker, challenge or whatever, we're kind of able to kind of touch on it and put it out in the open.
Yeah.
And
that's really what put a target on Josh and Sam's back.
Right. Like, and I wonder, like, how do you feel about that? About them being able to see, because, like, is it, should these house guests coming in have the chance to like be like, oh crap, we know each other, and then strategize and like keep it a secret? Like they didn't even really have a chance, like a choice in like.
At that stage in the game, I do think it was fair. I think it was a fair way to just kind of balance things out, because at that time they were coming in as only 4 and there were 11 new people.
Yeah.
And just from a numbers game alone, like the 11 were going to eat up the 4. Like,
right.
Yes. They had to cancel that eviction, I think, as well. Just to bring it all together. I think they had to cancel that eviction as well to kind of get Lulu to even have a chance to get Lulu to get some more numbers on their side. I think it was a good equalizer because it happened in the beginning. If this now happened mid-season, I would not enjoy that. But your first weekend, hey, how many super important conversations would really be going on? Like, this is not one that anyone, even production, could have planned for. Like, that was such a happenstancey kind of a thing. Because otherwise you would not be eavesdropping in on conversations that were that juicy.
Right.
Certainly not within the first day or two.
Right.
You should have just been listening to the silliness around that J Squad, like, and what kind of an alliance is that? That should have been all they heard.
Right.
So yeah, I thought it was a fun twist though. I like that. I thought it was a good time.
That was wild.
Yeah,
that was really fun. There was a point I thought they were going to get caught though, because Tim could not stay quiet in that little closet.
And that made me think that I wasn't going to like him very much. I was like, okay, this guy looks like he's kind of annoying. Like, I don't know. And the second he got out of the pantry, I fell in love with him and I have not looked back.
Right.
I have not gone back and forth with Tim at all. I have not gone back and forth with Reggie. Honestly, I like all of these house guests. It's not just the OGs. Like, I really do like everybody in here. I think they're just fun. I think they're fun people. The only one that really bothered me was Josh.
Yeah.
And even without the Sam stuff, he just looked like a very angry man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I am so happy that they got him out early. I don't want to see a twist where he comes back or anything like that. I'm done now. He's scared. He just really like.
And honestly, what's funny about this though, like, what's funny is that we love Tim, but if Tim had gotten his way, Josh would still be there right now. And I understand his reasoning for it.
I understand his reasoning for it too. And in that moment, I was rooting for that to happen. As a game player, I thought that was like that'd be like a fun little flip. It's just because at that point, he did seem to be calming down some of the Sam stuff. Like, by the time Tim was kind of trying to make that flip happen, he had kind of already stuck up for Sam and kind of like defended her a little bit and kind of got her out of that hot water. Like, when the rest of the house was asking her questions about it. So it's like, okay, like, all right, like, maybe you'll come around, but we never really got to see. Yeah.
I will say with Tully coming in, it would have been real interesting for Josh to still be in there, and that dynamic of, Sam is not feeling Josh, but then Drew comes in and she's feeling Drew, and Josh has to sit there and watch that. And now Tully comes in and Sam has to watch, Drew and Tully interact. Yeah. That would have been a super interesting dynamic.
So am I hearing that maybe you would like to push? Would you like to start a campaign to get Josh back in the house? Is that what you're looking to start?
I don't know.
Are you going to change.org to start a petition?
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if I'm willing to go that far, but
okay, all right. Well,
I think that would have been very interesting.
No, I agree. That would have been really fun. I wonder if the Sam and Drew thing would have popped off as quickly if Josh was still there, because like we saw it happening, but like once the second he left, I mean, like just forget it. Yeah.
Right.
I'd be curious to know if that would have stayed the case. Yeah.
Wow.
So this week ahead, I kind of only hope there's like 3 episodes. I really don't want it to be 4 all the time. Like, was 4 just because like a premiere event or something like that, and because they had to cancel the Eviction? Like I would hope so. We'll just have to look at the website and see when it's coming back out.
Did we say who the second person to leave was yet?
We could have mentioned it. I mean, it was Mel.
Yeah, I forget if we did.
It was Mel. She didn't make it.
I have to tell you, actually. So like, there's a couple of moments I think Mel was starting to lose it a little bit.
Listen,
like, she's like going around the house. Yeah, I didn't really either. Like she
was annoying.
Like the message she kept saying that she wanted to spread was like all hope and love and this and that, but like I don't know how it just didn't always seem super genuine to me.
No, this is Big Brother. It just felt like she just really, really wanted people to like her so bad. And then like the only time that I did feel a little bit of something for her was in that moment when she was like, "But then why am I up for nomination if I'm so nice?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." That kind of looked a little sad. Like, okay, that kind of bothered me a little bit. The poor dear.
Right.
But
there was a point though when like she was like talking to Big Brother and she was like, "I'm just gonna go around, I'm just gonna show everybody who I am," and then they like cut to a clip of her. I don't even know who she was sitting with, and she was like, "So what's your favorite song?" And I was like, this is how you're gonna win people over? Yes. What's your favorite song? And then there was like, I'm sure that was the way that it was edited, but like Dave was outside like working out and Mel was just sitting on the ground like in front of him as he's working out, and she just started like, "I went to the store. What did you buy?" Like, it just looked so weird. And Dave was just staring at her like, "You don't remember that?" Oh my god, I have to just find the clip and send it to you after this.
Because I feel like that's why I just like blank her out. Like I really found her to be very irritating. Like I was not a Mel fan. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I feel like that's gonna get me canceled. Because I feel like it's just not cool to like not like the positive Polly. But yeah, I really wasn't feeling it. I found it to be rather grating. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Sorry.
Can I ask you one more thing about the second chance challenge?
Of course you can.
This actual competition, have we seen this somewhere before? This looked very familiar to me. The stacking of the discs and then jumping to get the flag. I don't know what it was.
If we saw anything like it, it would have been Survivor. Because there's no version of Big Brother that ever would have given us that. Like, certainly not BBUS.
Maybe it was Survivor. It just seems so familiar to me for some reason. I don't know.
As you continue on, there's a lot of challenges that show up on Big Brother Australia that look and feel so Survivor-y. At least it did with 12. I mean, who knows what happens with this one? But like, I was like, oh my gosh, we would totally see something like this on Survivor. Like, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see how other countries, play this game.
Right.
Yeah. I'm so happy for the fandom that like helped us to kind of discover that this was happening. I don't know why we didn't just look. If you just go to the Big Brother wiki, it tells you what international Big Brothers are happening. I don't know why we didn't just look. But anyway, so happy to have stumbled upon this one. This is great.
I'm loving this.
Yeah. And it even makes me more excited though. I can't wait for BB24 to start, because like I am going to be excited to go back to our way of doing things. Even after the Canada trip. I'm excited to like just be back home with our music, our
opening theme.
Yeah, our stumbling host. Even if it's just for the fact that we get a theme song at all and see credits go. We have not had that. Like BB Can doesn't do that, sadly.
Yeah.
They did, but no, we just had that little quick. Yeah. I like a theme. I like to see people grayed out. which is why we've continued here on jury duty. You know,
yeah.
The actual show may not give you a great out opening, but we do. I don't have.
I just hope that our version, like, they change a couple things up. I feel like they need to. We need a little revamping.
I don't agree that we don't need a little revamping. I just don't want your heart to get broken. Like, please don't expect that going into.
I'm not expecting
We're getting the same old flop-tastic BBUS 24. We're getting bad twists that don't execute properly.
Yeah, I'm just so tired of this.
Well, see, now I'm not tired of it because now I can laugh at it because now we've discovered other people who do Big Brother better. So now I can just laugh at ours and have fun with it. And like, okay, Canada's starting. This is like really it.
Yeah.
And there's other Big Brother coming after this. We have Big Brother UK that was just renewed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Big Brother to go. Okay. It does not begin and end in the summer. The American one. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for VPNs. Right. What are you excited for going into this next week here? The only thing I'm really excited for is Tully.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm very excited for the arrival of Tully.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the arrival of Tully. I'm excited to see 2 cycles happen now that we know people. I can't wait to see how that happens. It's just gonna be just so rapid. It's like getting a double every week and in a different way. Really exciting.
Yeah. I think so. I'm really excited to see Yvette finally win a nomination challenge too. I want to see what they do, and I know it's crazy is that their numbers are just growing every episode.
Yeah,
but they still haven't won. They still haven't had like real power.
So, no, the numbers are growing because they just keep adding OGs, and they're also voting out new ones. Like, that's what's interesting about what you even just said there, because like, no, the OGs have not been in power, but an OG has not left.
Right.
There's something to be said to that too.
This reminds me of the last challenge we had, right? Or was it the last? I don't know if it was the last one, but
37.
They had all those vets in there. Yeah, they just kept
and the newbie not getting on board. This is like, hello, like you should be stopping this. Like, no.
Right. Yeah, that's we're literally telling them, like, we're literally just picking you guys off. You realize?
Yes, we're just one after another, and I fear that could happen here. Except I don't really fear it because I like the OGs more than I like the newbies, which is based off of nothing because everyone's new to me. So, yeah, good stuff. I'm just again, just like I felt when we started Canada, it's like this was an unexpected thing that just fell in our lap, and I'm just so happy to have another Big Brother right away again.
I know, it's so great.
It has to be on purpose. Like they know, like the Big Brother world, there must be like Big Brother headquarters, and they all go and then they map out the whole year, and they say like who's going to be on and when. Because it is just too much of a coincidence that Celebrity ended and went right into Canada, goes right into Australia, and like, if this overlaps with America, I'd be shocked. I just feel like they've got it down at this point.
Right.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. But I don't know, I guess we'll have to find out what time we are streaming next week or what time we're doing anything. We're still getting the kinks out here, okay? We were not planning on doing BBAU. We're happy to be doing it, but it wasn't part of the plan. So let's find out when we're normally doing this. But yeah, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. I was trying something new here to like play some music on the way out.
Sometimes I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, it started a little janky. I don't know about it. So anyway, you can find us on the socials at BB Jury Duty, and we'll be back on Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, and this was so corrected. Talking about the Challenge All Stars 3. Which, while I like the whole 2-episode premiere, I hope that also keeps it to 1 a week as well. Okay. Big undertaking. But that's out on Wednesday, and we'll be with you on Thursday. Do you have anything else for the benefit of the community?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Awesome. Thanks a lot, everybody. We're out of here.